How do you actually feel as a patriotic and a true African whenever you actually come across a speech or a statement from our most progressive and popular revolutionary leader from the Sahel state here in Africa, or Captain Ibrahim Traoré? Okay, now our leader, your leader, my president, okay, in total, our president has actually delivered a powerful speech in the Sahel state, okay, in Burkina Faso. That was on Wednesday, okay, this Wednesday. That was when Burkina Faso was actually celebrating 865 independence day. And guess the message that has actually been delivered by Captain Ibrahim Traoré. You're going to get shocked. Okay, now let me actually show you the video, or let me share the live video from Captain Ibrahim Traoré with you, and after that we are actually going to make sure that we digest and educate ourselves based on his words. Watch this, and before that, please make sure that again to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because this community is here for true Africans like you. Our president actually spoke in French, okay, so make sure that again to read the caption.
Nous continuerons sur notre lancée, et je pense que toute la jeunesse est aussi invitée à s'exprimer. Nous continuerons à les encourager pour que nous puissions atteindre nos objectifs, parce que la souveraineté, l'indépendance, la liberté que nous voulons pour vivre en paix au Burkina Faso, c'est tout cela. Voilà pourquoi je dis que ce n'est pas qu'un simple mot, c'est un ensemble. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes fiers de dire que nous avons fait des progrès, tant sur le domaine industriel, industrie civile que militaire. Nous avons fait des progrès sur le domaine de la santé, nous avons fait des progrès sur le domaine des infrastructures, nous avons fait des progrès sur le domaine de la défense, de la reconquête. Ces criminels qui avaient occupé ces zones de notre patrie, croire que c'était leur sanctuaire, ont été délogés dans plusieurs zones, sont en train de fuir le Burkina Faso. Vous verrez certainement des images de leur fuite, mais nous leur disons qu'à présent, ils n'ont que deux choix. Fuir le Burkina Faso ou mourir, parce que les forces combattantes sont engagées dans cette offensive et ça va continuer. Nous allons poursuivre jusqu'aux limites de nos frontières et sécuriser le Burkina Faso pour que le Burkina Faso vive en paix, se développe, soit prospère, soit un modèle qui inspire les autres nations.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't actually get him, or you don't understand the French version, don't worry, because I have the English version with me here, where I actually want us to analyze and also break down some key statements from his version of speech. Okay, now let me actually ask you this particular question here. Ladies and gentlemen, be honest with me. Now, whenever you come across a speech from Captain Ibrahim Traoré, okay, the most progressive and popular African revolutionary leader, okay, when I actually come across his speech online, how do you actually feel? Okay, let us know that at the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for your understanding. Now, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, when he was actually talking, let me remind you, he was actually live, okay, on Wednesday evening. That was when Captain Ibrahim was actually delivering a message to his people, because that day happened to be the Independence Day, okay, the Independence Day for Burkina Faso. The 65 Independence was day for Burkina Faso. Okay, sorry. Now, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, when he was actually talking, he said that terrorists have only two options: flee Burkina Faso or die. This is what he said, and I quote. Okay, terrorists have only two choices or options: flee Burkina Faso or die. This is what he said. Now, the world is very unequivocal about the terrorism that the Sahel state is actually experiencing, including Burkina Faso. Okay, now Captain Ibrahim is actually was given to the terrorists or the terror groups that, look, it is whether you run away or you die here in Burkina Faso. You understand me? And let me also remind you, ladies and gentlemen, as a patriotic African, terrorism is something that has actually been using against Burkina Faso or the Sahel states. And trust me, it is actually an intermediary weapon from a source or from some powers who are actually against the Sahel state. So they're actually using it as intermediary. You understand me? As an intermediary weapon against them, to make sure that they subdue their progress in terms of whatever they actually were doing. But the president of Burkina Faso, okay, is actually stressing the fact that, look, if you happen to be a terror group member, make sure that you flee from the country, or you live here by your own arrogance attitude and face your demise here, right in our lands. Okay, because we are not actually going to subside our energy towards you. This is what he actually said. So it is whether you are to run away or you stay and buy. This is what he said. Now let's go. He made more than 4 important key statements But ladies and gentlemen, now I have with me here three here that actually want us to break them down. I want to quote him. He said that within 1 month, okay, previously impregnable terrorist strongholds were recaptured by Burkina Faso armed forces. All enemy resistance crashed, and no national casualties was not reported. And I really thank God or Allah, okay, for this particular statement here from Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Okay, now what I actually want us here to underline is the casualties here. He said, look, the impregnable, or the invincible terrorist strongholds, they were recaptured by the Burkina Faso armed forces, and they were dealt with. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? And after dealing with them, the armed forces, according to Burkina Faso president, they did not actually record any human casualty or any national casualty, which simply means that amongst all the armed forces who were present at the scene against the terror groups, they did not actually record any injury or death case. He said that to achieve a sovereignty, this is what he said, to achieve a sovereignty, economic operators must fundamentally change their approach, invest in the local processing of raw materials, and make Burkina Faso an exporter of finished products instead. This is what he said. Yes, to achieve sovereignty or real independence. Now, economic operators within Burkina Faso. Now, he's actually talking to Burkina Faso, but let us actually take it in a figurative way. Let us actually assume that he's actually talking to the whole of us, Africa and other part of the world that also wants changes like what is actually happening in the Sahel states in West Africa now. He said that to achieve full sovereignty, a complete sovereignty, economic operators must fundamentally change their approach, invest in the local processing of raw materials, and make Burkina Faso an exporter of finished products instead. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, as African, we can actually also do everything here. So the only thing that we need to do is to make sure that we also cherish whatever we are processing here, and make sure that we invest in them massively. Make sure that we rebrand them. Make sure that we make them look original or more original in the best way according to our various potentials and energies. And trust me, we can also stand a chance of exporting whatever we have. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, this is what he actually said. And of course, doing this will actually help you, or can actually make someone define you as a sovereign country. You understand me? You cannot actually call yourself a sovereign country where you have actually been importing without exporting for other parts of the world to also benefit from what you can also produce in your country. And of course, when this actually happens, it is actually going to boost job and job creations. Yes, it is actually going to boost job creation. It's actually going to boost the economy of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, now this is a powerful statement. Statement I have actually derived from Captain Ibrahim Traoré's speech that he actually delivered. Okay, now the third one says that Burkina Faso stands as a showcase and model of progressive popular revolutions, drawing attention from across Africa and the world. Okay, now in Africa, revolution has actually been taking place. Okay, now Madagascar, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Niger. And even recently, it was actually happening in Benin, but unfortunately, it has actually been filled. Burkina Faso president is actually addressing the fact that, look, all these revolutions that actually was happening in Africa, the most progressive popular revolution that we have here in Africa, most especially in West Africa, happen to be Burkina Faso. Now, what does this simply mean? It simply means that Burkina Faso actually happened to be the most progressive popular revolution that a lot of African countries actually, mostly the Africans, we actually want our leaders to actually make sure that they model. This is what it actually was mean. So if they continue to do more revolutions, things in the country, it means that Africans, we can simply boldly learn from them. Of course, make sure that we extend the revolution in any part of the world. We also want to make sure that they get things modernized or revolutionized. You understand me? So this is something that he's actually said in his speech, and I think he's actually making sense, because Burkina Faso is indeed a country of revolution, and this revolution happened to be a role model for some Africans here, and we cherish it. Okay, let us know your thoughts at the comment section. Thank you.